What's up, witches? It's me, Luna. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this video. As I'm shooting this, it is the end of summer. We are in the last week of summer, and I'm so happy. And I can't wait until the next phase. And to launch that phase, I've got a deck review, an unboxing, a deep dive test drive, whatever you want to call it. Please stick around to the end of the flip through and the review, because I do test drive the decks, so you get a reading for the collective. If you don't want to get through all the rigmarole in the beginning, just click to the end where you'll see a reading. Okay, let's go. Here's the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. This is the second Llewellyn deck that I've done in a row. This is Rose Wright, illustrated by Eugene Smith. So if you're a fan of the dark and the shadowy and autumn and everything, yeah, you're here with me. 78 card deck and 288 page booklet. Prophetic wisdom from the master of the macabre, blending the divinatory power of the Rider-Waite Smith Tarot with the visionary writings of Edgar Allan Poe. This deck offers deep spiritual insight into who you are and what you might become. Stunning illustrations based on Poe's tales of the mysterious and the macabre will inspire your imagination and open your soul to revelation. Use this deck and the accompanying guidebook to transform your spirit and illuminate the shadows on your path. We have a couple little images there. This is an all glossy, snappy box. So satisfying. And we just have more images here. And here is the honkin' book. So my little great nephew calls pontoon boats honkin' boats because he heard somebody call it a big honkin' boat. So here's a big honkin' book. And on the back, whether you're brand new or experienced tarot reader, the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot can guide your spiritual journey. In this book, each card has two sections: Into the Maelstrom, which provides divinatory meaning, and Telltale Heart, which explores its connection to one of Poe's works. Ah, wonderful. This format makes every card a doorway to revelation. You'll also discover tips for reading reversals, working with repeating questions, choosing an appropriate spread for a reading. Author Rose Wright explores significator cards and clarifiers. That's great. Usually you don't get that, especially clarifiers. And numerology to help develop a personal reading style that works for you. Also included are clever spreads, such as the Raven spread, the Dream Within a Dream spread, and the Gravestone spread. The Poe Tarot will take you on a comprehensive tour of Poe's world, from terrifying short stories to haunting poems to little-known comedies. After integrating Poe's profound vision into your tarot practice, you'll emerge with greater wisdom as a blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's take the cards out. As you can see, I've deplasticed everything. Now, I got this as a birthday gift, and I did flip through it, but that's been almost 2 months, so... Do I remember anything? No. All right. Let's take a look at the book. Look at the color. I love. Now, this kind of book, it is paperback with a cardboard cover. This is the kind of binding that can crack apart sometimes, so I'm being a little careful with it. There's a death's head moth. I love the color. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal dream ever dared to dream before. Of course, that's a Poe quote. About the author, Rose Wright is an author, certified Reiki healer, and lifelong student of tarot and astrology. You can find her along the Los Angeles shoreline, practicing healing arts and energy work. In her spare time, she enjoys writing middle-grade fiction. Her work has been featured in Refinery 29, New Worlds Magazine, and New Leaf Magazine. Cool. About the artist, Eugene Smith is an illustrator residing in Chicago, Illinois. He has a BFA in painting and drawing from the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. His work has appeared in books, editorials, tarot card decks, and educational graphic novels. He lives with his lovely wife, 2 children, and an odd dog. Okay, so tarot card decks, Eugene Smith. I want to find out what else he's done. Okay, so I did pull up, this is EugeneSmithIllustration.com. He has done the artwork for this, for Tarot in Wonderland, the Animal Totem Tarot, Llewellyn's Classic Tarot, and Celestial Unicorn Tarot. There. Now we know the answer. All right, back. So let's look at, okay, we've got that. We've got dedications. This is 2021. Then we have an introduction, how to read the cards, majors, minors, wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. Nothing new there. Spreads, conclusion, and Poe's works cited. That's nice. I'm sure they have to do that. Welcome to the mysterious and macabre world of Edgar Allan Poe, where all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. More than a master storyteller, Poe can be associated with tarot, as through both tarot and fiction, we learn more about who we are and what we can become. It reveals our shadow sides, much like Poe's works bring out the hidden realms within us. Subtle contexts within tarot and in Poe's works hint at our deepest natures and expose darker human attributes. Tarot can bring about epiphanies of self-discovery. By its use, we illuminate the subconscious, reveal blind spots, and emotionally heal. Poe wrote stories and poems that both connect with and bring up what's buried in the subconscious. He did this by adding symbolism to his stories. Both poems and tarot cards can have different meanings and be interpreted in many ways based on their rich symbolism. Each card has a positive and a negative association, a yin and a yang, and as with humanity, the dark is balanced by the light. Okay, so we go. When you use this, you can connect with your spirit guides. As you delve into your deck and discover the deep wisdom, you may adopt Poe's imagination and belief in unseen things. Then we have guidance. So we do have some history of Poe. Guidance, if you're new to tarot, you'll be able to use this book as your guide to the interpretations for each card. The majors, the minors, court cards, the querent, person asking questions, the reader, Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, and spread. So we have a short 4-word glossary there. It's essential that tarot readers build their skills from the ground up. Sturdy foundation is bedrock. The 4 aces in this book aren't coupled with any particular Poe story or poem. Instead, I relate the aces to Poe's personality and achievements. As well, the Emperor is the only card within the major arcana that isn't associated with Poe's work. The Emperor card features Poe himself. Ah, that's cool. All right, let me see. Book follows traditional Rider-Waite-Smith interpretations. If you'd like to examine the deeper connections of Poe's work to tarot symbolism, then sections called Telltale Heart will illustrate these associations. Okay, how to read. Ground and protect yourself. The choice, knowing you have free will, is imperative when reading tarot. No matter what the cards reveal, you have influence over your future. One advantage of tarot is gleaning what lies ahead, but just because things are doesn't mean that is what will be. You have the power of choice, shuffling, reversals. Then we have the deck. Okay, let's see. Many beginning tarot readers skip reversals. They don't want to confuse themselves with too many definitions, meanings, and interpretations. A wise thing. Some readers slowly incorporate reversals as they grow in their practice. Reversals are necessary to understanding the full scope of a reading. I'm sure you get a lot that argue with that, including me. However, if you're just beginning tarot journey, leaving reversals out of your readings can help you grasp the basic meanings and also help you grasp the fact that the entire deck upright can give you the answers you're looking for. Okay, then we have the deck, major, minor, court cards, choosing your spread, card selection, layout and card order, patterns. Pay special attention to any patterns that appear. Colors are important to notice. Examples of patterns are court cards showing up multiple times. Also, if you have all 4 of the 3s, for example. In general, wands are represented by red, cups by yellow, swords by blue, pentacles by green. Be aware, cups by yellow. Okay. I can understand wands red. All right, whatever. Pay attention to any impending storms, parting clouds, sunsets, sunrises, metaphors, elements, significators, and clarifiers. Here, some readers choose a card that represents themselves or their querent. The card is chosen based on the symbolism and overall energy of the card and is not chosen at random. Significator is usually a court card and it's pulled out of the deck. Although you're free to pull a significator, I find that this isn't necessary because the court card that best represents your querent's energy will show up in the reading. Yeah, that's the problem I have with taking a significator out of the deck. because then it's out of play. You've removed it, you know. On the other hand, if you mentally choose a significator, if you go through the deck and, you know, pick one, then put it back, shuffle it back in, and then if it comes up, there's a special significance, a special emphasis. Yeah, if you know you or your subject's significator, you will see it pop up again and again. Pull one card at the end of a reading and using this card as a clarifier. If there's any confusion, the clarifier can offer clues regarding the question. All right, questions. Tricky subject. Okay, talking about the ethics of reading for somebody else and what questions you will or won't answer, such as legal or health questions. Yeah, anything that's going to put you at liability. Steer clear of yes-no readings unless you do an actual yes-no spread. All right. Repeating questions. A common theme that runs throughout Poe's works is self-imposed insanity, or an insanity bred from fear, insecurity, and paranoia. Poe's characters seem relatively stable as their stories begin, but they slowly spiral down into a mess of self-torture, victimhood, and surreal nightmares. I liken this kind of downward spiral to obsession. Often, if a reader continually asks the same question, the same cards will keep coming up. This only leads to frustration and more obsession. You might even find the Devil card, Obsession, appears along with cards like Eight of Swords, mental self-imprisonment, Nine of Swords, fear and anxiety, or Tower, in this case, mental collapse. So it's talking about taking a step back if you keep asking the same question over and over again. And I find if you keep belaboring a question, if you've done a reading and you've gotten an answer, you don't particularly like the answer, so you keep asking, the cards will just mock the shit out of you. They will spell out all of your worst fears around the situation. So yeah, don't do it. Then we have numbers, grouped by number style, developing your own system of reading, and then we're straight into the majors. So we have the Fool, a little tiny thing about the major arcana, just a little paragraph. The Fool in Telltale Hearts. So the first thing is the section that tells about Poe's work. And then we have Into the Maelstrom, and then we have Upright and Reversed. So, and we do have the full size, full color images. I always go back and forth about whether I just want to use the book to show you the deck because the images are so much bigger, but no, I'm not gonna. Oh, and then let's go to, same thing with the minors. Here we have a little blurb about the suit of wands, and then straight into the ace, and same deal as the majors. Let's get to the end of the pence. Here we go. Spreads. One card, past, present, future. The Fan. The yes-no spread. There you go. Edgar Allan Poe spreads. The Raven. So this is where you came from, your foundation, recent past, next step. Oh, wait a minute. Foundation, energies influencing immediate past, next step, where you're headed, your focus in changing or maintaining the direction you're headed. This reminds me a little bit of a one called a pyramid spread that I got from Classic Tarot Spreads book, where you lay out 7 and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but the 4 card is the one that you turn first, and it kind of is an overall descriptor. Excellent reading. Telltale Heart spread. Challenge or fear, your passion, your catalyst, your path home, dream within a dream, what your dreams are, higher meaning, spiritual lesson. The Oval Portrait spread. Path you've taken, choices influencing your path, your fears, bondage, what's holding you back, unknown potential fate, how you see yourself, how to become the image of yourself you've always dreamed. And then we have a gravestone. Oh my God. Current influences shaping this situation, problem you face, reveals outside influences, undoing or your weakness, and the way out. Conclusion. I'll let you read that for yourself. And then we have Poe's works cited, the book, essays, poems, short stories. Man, there's a mountain of them, isn't there? All right, let's get to the deck. All right, so here is the back. Ravens and eyeballs. This is just a plain glossy cardstock, very thin, very shuffleable. I kind of wish they either weren't glossy or they were linen, but the ravens with eyeballs as a snack. Okay. The Fool. So here we have two people parading. And let's start right off the bat with the book. I want to see how they describe where the image comes from. So, Telltale Heart. The Fool is a free spirit, risk-taker, adventurer, and optimist. The Fool opens doors to new worlds and new ways of living. Fortunato from Poe's masterpiece, The Cask of Amontillado, is a most excellent fool. That's a good one. Not only does he take risks and pursue pleasure at all costs, but when we meet him, Fortunato is even dressed like a fool. Quote, the man wore motley. His head was surmounted by the conical cap and bells. In this image, Fortunato walks ahead of his friend Montresor through the Montresor family catacombs. Montresor has lured Fortunato into the niter-crusted vaults by appealing to Fortunato's vanity. Montresor needs someone to authenticate a cask of Amontillado wine. Only the best connoisseur will do. Though sick, Fortunato insists on proceeding deeper into the catacombs because he believes himself the only man qualified to do the job. Fortunato proclaims, "Let us go nevertheless. The cold is merely nothing. Amontillado." In the image, Montresor conceals a towel under his cloak. Trowel under his cloak. Okay, I see that. I would not have seen that otherwise. Montresor said that Fortunato did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation. Fortunato teaches us to keep an open heart, but not fall prey to deceit. Okay, cool. Then we have the Magician, and it is the Raven, and you see all of the tools there. Pentacles, sword, cup. Where's the wand? I don't see a wand. Maybe it's the candles. And a cauldron, lots of smoke. The High Priestess, very recognizable. And we've got Leo up above. That's the constellation for Leo. Fascinating. Okay. Here's the Empress. Ooh. And I want to stop and look up every single one of these to see where they come from, but we're not going to do that. So that's the Empress, and you see the triple moon there. It's a tomb, of course. The Emperor, there he is. And this, it doesn't look like a moon. I guess it's got to be a moon. It's way out there, little tiny. Okay, Hierophant is a mummy in Egypt. All right. So we are, while they're sticking with RWS meanings, we're certainly not sticking with that imagery. Here are the lovers, seemingly being kept apart by that raven. And there's the Chariot. How weird. Okay, so you'd be very much forgiven for mistaking this for the High Priestess. There's a lamp with like starlights, and there's sphinxes. I guess that's the clue that we get that it's the Chariot. But, okay, I gotta. Sorry, I gotta. All right, there's the lovers. The Chariot, from the eponymous story, Ligeia has risen from the dead. She falls ill and dies. Ahead of her death, her husband promises never to remarry, but after that, he marries somebody else, and she falls ill, and as she's dying, the narrator sees visions of Ligeia. Ligeia's spirit uses all its power to take over Lady Rowena's physical body in order to live again. Okay. The Chariot's about working with forceful oppositions. All right. So they do tie things together. And you know what? I'm going to go to the book. Okay. First time I've ever switched horses in midstream, not too far into the stream, but this way the images are bigger, we can see more detail, and I can look right away and see what the thing is, what it's from, right? So here's Strength, Annabelle Lee. That's one of my favorites. So all the night tide I lay down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea. So wonderfully dark, but that's certainly recognizable. The Hermit, that's from the Gold Bug. So we see him, yes, on his own and searching with a magnifying glass. There's the Wheel of Fortune with the Scarab, and that's also the Gold Bug. So we've got the 4 ravens, and we have the, damn it. They start in the right place with Aries, but they're going clockwise. It's supposed to go this way. All righty. Then we have Justice, and that's what? The Purloined Letter. It's been a long time since I've read Poe, so I'm not really, keen to guess any of these things, but I sure would like to go back and read more with this. This is the Pit and the Pendulum, of course. The Hanged Man. That's rather appropriate. Then we have Death from the Oval Portrait. With skulls. Temperance is from the Island of the Fae. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting a Poe anthology. This is from the Black Cat. This is the Devil. Wow. And this is from, the Black Cat. Duh, I said that. The Tower, Fall of the House of Usher. The images are wonderful. Very descriptive, very moody. The Star is from Eulalie, a Song. Very familiar looking for the Star. And then we have The Moon from William Wilson. I've never heard of that story either, but look at these two facing off. And they look identical to each other, which is interesting to begin with. The Sun is from Eleonora. Wow. So different from the traditional sun, but very sun-looking, with big sunflowers. Kind of sad we don't actually see the sun in the sky, but look at the flowers. Beautiful, colorful, definitely reflecting the vibe of the sun card as contrasted with the moon. Right? Okay, Judgment, a descent into the maelstrom. Wow. So good. The World is from El Dorado. Yep. And on to the minors. Here's, yes, so the candle is the wand. Telltale Heart. It says Edgar Allan Poe had a rough start to, so remember the aces aren't from stories or poems. Had a rough start to life, but regardless of his difficult childhood, he had the passion to make his dreams a reality. So the 4 aces talk about himself. The Man of the Crowd for the 2 of Wands. Looking at this, if I had no idea, but you know what? Since we've established that the wands, and there's an emblem up here of a candle. So we've established that wands are candles, and we see the 2 candles kind of prominent up there. So that's how you get the clue. This dude's got something in his hand like he just stole something. But otherwise, with this image, would you know? No, you would not. Message found in a bottle. Wow. So that's the 3. Damn. I mean, the ships maybe are a clue. And again, though, 1, 2, 3, we have 3 lit candles. All right, so that's what we follow through. Yes, 4 of Wands. How come this feels like 4 of Swords? In the poem To My Mother. But there's, the coloring of it and the flowers don't feel like the 4 of Swords. So that's Very, very interesting. All right, the 5 is a story Hop Frog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Goodness. The 6 is the Duc de l'Omelette. And we can see those lit candles again. So this does look kind of like a victory card. Gotta go back here. 5 of Wands. Okay. 6. The 7, Mask of the Red Death. So 7 of Wands. Wow. This is the Raven. Yeah. Here's the 8. So we've got, we've got the 8 candles on the windowsill with broken glass, and the ravens are what's flying. The 9 of Wands, Silence of Fable. Okay, so we see him kind of barricaded behind these. Look at this. Oh, wow. Into the maelstrom. The meaning part says, struggle, struggle, struggle. This sounds like your life. Take heart. Wow. And here's the 10 of Wands. The oblong box. Oh my God. In the oblong box, Cornelius Wyatt jumps from a sinking ship with his wife's coffin tied to his back. Yeah, that's 10 of Wands stuff, I would say. Okay, here we go with the courts. The Imp of the Perverse. So that's the page. Here's the Knight. Oh my God. The Murders in the Rue Morgue. The Queen is from a predicament. To the Queen. So I'm glad that they have titles on the cards because, I mean, she's only holding 1 candle. And then the King is from Metzengerstein. So he would, seems like more of a knight, but then we've got this orangutan. All right, Cups. He was a dark and brooding romantic. Yes. Yes, indeed he was. What a tragic figure. The 2 is from The Assignation. That's very recognizable. Look at this just baby head floating in the sky. I mean, we have a caduceus, but instead of a more stylized or a lion's head or something, we just get this baby head. Hilarious. There's the 3. Mask of the Red Death, but still in the good times. The 4 is from Mesmeric Revelation. Wow. So this is 4 of Cups. 5, the Little Death card. And we have Lenore with him grieving at the graveside. Yep, that tracks. 6 is from Annabelle Lee. Here we go. Yes. She was a child and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea. So that really ties in well. But we get these kind of, I don't know, jealous angels with all these cups down here. This is the 6. How interesting. So again, a little bit of confusion of images. All right. 2 seraphs hang in the dark clouds. These angels who were, quote, not half so happy in heaven went envying her and me. Okay. But look, sorry. You know, the confusion of images with these that really look like it wants to be the 7 of Cups. So let's see what we get with the 7. Unparalleled adventure of one Hans Fall. And we get those same images in these cups, but he's going up in a balloon. Fantasy, clouds. And there's certainly a lot in the images to latch onto. A Tale of the Ragged Mountains is the 8 of Cups. Wow. That certainly tracks, huh? The 9, Eleonora. So again, they tell so much with color here. The 10 is the devil in the belfry. Wow. So we don't, I mean, we get the houses, we don't really get a family together, but, you know, that's where we're at with this deck. Here's the page. A Valentine to blank, blank, blank. That's recognizable. We've got that fish leaping. The night is 3 Sundays in a week. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. What the heck? Curious. Here's the queen. That's my card. Annabelle Lee stands in front of her tomb by the sounding sea. Fun that my card, Queen of Cups, is also my favorite poem of his. The king is King Pest. King Pest believes himself a King Pest. So the story is called King Pest. Oh my goodness. That's the King of Cups. Holy moly. All right, here we go. Swords. And there's the raven. So it talks about Poe's mind and his logic. The 2 is from the Sphinx. There's that death's head moth. And we get a blindfold. Yay! The 3 is from the Telltale Heart. Another one of my favorites. The 4, okay, very different from the 4 of Wands. This is the fall of the House of Usher. The 5 is the man that was used up. Oh my, is a satirical work about General John A.B.C. Smith. General Smith is the man that was used up. Okay. Look at this image. Oh my God. So he's mechanical. Look at the hands and things screw on. And then the 6 of Swords, that's very trackable. The narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. The 7 is Maelzel's chess player. The 7 of Swords. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to go back to the 5 for a second. Because, okay, talking about abuse of power maybe. This definitely gives you an idea of trickery maybe. Here's the 8, the premature burial. Ay, 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 I barely remember that one. The 9 is Fall of the House of Usher. That's very familiar looking. And here's the 10, Murders in the Rue Morgue. Look at the hand and the hair coming out of the chimney. Ay. Okay, Page of Swords, Power of Words. The Knight of Swords, Berenice. Queen of Swords, Ligeia. I don't know if it's Ligeia or Ligeia. Ooh. Awesome. I want to read that too. The Murders in the Rue Morgue, Detective C. Auguste Dupin. Why do they always have to be French? And, you know, one thing I'm noticing in this deck, too, is it's absolutely a white deck. There's no racial diversity whatsoever. Telltale Balloon Hoax, Van Kempelen and his high. All right, so that's, again, about Poe. The 2 is Bonbon. Bonbon. See him holding the 2 pentacles. That's easy to know. 3 of Pentacles. Tale of Jerusalem. The 4 is the Assignation. And that tracks 2 with wealth and greed. 5 is never bet the devil your head. The 6, the Fall of the House of Usher. Wow. I mean, he's weighing things out, so we get that. The 7, 1001 Nights. So in Poe's The 1002nd Tale of Scheherazade. Oh my goodness, I want to read that. Okay, so waiting. The 8 of Pentacles is magazine writing Peter Snook. Or magazine writing Peter Snook. Okay. And there he is again. The 9 is The Eight of Pentacles apprenticeship that tracks the 1002nd tail of Scheherazade is the 9. The 10 is the gold bug. Okay. Then we have the page, Von Kempelen and his discovery. The businessman is the knight. The queen is the spectacles. Ooh, she's glorious. And then the king is the domain of Arnheim. And into spreads. Okay, so I'm glad I switched and went to the book, because that saved us a lot of time and gave you more information. There's still so much more information for you to find, but if you're a Poe lover, already I can tell you this is going to be a good deck. Let's give it a blessing. And then watch if it bursts into flames in my hands. Okay. Oh. I'm half scared of these matches. They shoot off these little flaming tips. All right. And I clapped ash everywhere. I hate it when you clap ash everywhere. Oh, by air and fire may you be purified and charged. You know, with the inspiration of Poe's writings. And by, whoops, water and earth. Let's get the book too. May you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may negativity be cleared and the spirit within you awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me clue in. Thank you for getting into the shuffle and arranging these cards to bring a wonderful message to my viewers. And I offer you fresh water. I offer you fresh fire of Azrael. So that the spirit of divination and the wonderful Gothic spirit of Poe may come out in this deck. Shuffling, I'm not apprehensive at all. You notice it fits quite well in the hand, and yes, very bendy. Ah, lovely. So the test is, can I hold it in my hand and go like this? Yes, I can. It's not too big. Oops. All right, even when you muff it, these things shuffle easily. Let me give it a cut. All right, now we start to concentrate. What message do you have for my viewers? How do we, in whatever moment we are in our lives when we're watching this reading, what do we need to know in order to fulfill our life's purpose, in order to more clearly see what's important from what's not? Come on. They don't want to, okay, they don't want to do that anymore. Let's do this. What do we need to know? We get the Eight of Cups. We get the Knight of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles. Let's come down here. They don't have to be so far away. The Four of Swords, the Empress, and the Ace of Wands. So this is awesome because to, give a good test drive, you like to see all four species. You like to see a major, you like to see minors, you like to see aces, and you like to see courts. All right, so going intuitively first, we have the Eight of Cups, talking about leave taking, talking about recognizing where your emotional energy is being wasted. It's just being poured out, and deciding that you are no longer going to invest emotional energy in this particular incident. So it talks about taking care of ourselves by recognizing where our emotional energy is being misspent, where it's wasted. and then reclaiming it for ourselves. The Knight of Wands. I mean, you've got this orangutan that is just going ham here. Obviously, something's been killed, somebody. And he's got this candle in his hand. I guess flaming passion. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles on this side. Interesting that we've got quartz on both sides of this issue. Queen of Pentacles talks about stability and fertility, the skillful means with money, having a lot of experience with resources, and she's kind of opposing. She is steady, she's discerning, she has a lot of skill in making things grow. And then you've got this dude who is just going at it. Okay. So we could be wasting energy on just trying to make something happen and on maybe taking too much care of resources. All right, then we have Four of Swords and the Empress. So definitely a need for a rest, a need for a break. And with Queen of Pentacles and the Empress coming right next to each other, it really does talk about doing very practical things in order to nurture, to feed, to grow. Nurturing, resting. And then the Ace of Wands down here is a new beginning. So I think we have to rein in some of this where we're just splattering our passions and our anger even everywhere. All right, let's read. Eight of Cups. In A Tale of the Ragged Mountains, Augustus Bedloe walks through a rugged area of Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains. Before embarking, Augustus employs a mesmer to help with his neuralgia. Much of the mountains are draped in a thick and peculiar mist, symbolizing a journey into the unknown. The chain of wild and dreary hills represents a journey that will be difficult. Bedloe sees strange people, hears bizarre music, and finds himself in odd places. We can only assume this is due to his neuralgia. However, his mesmer, and that would be a hypnotist, his mesmer believes that Bedloe's experiences are because Bedloe has been reincarnated as the mesmer's friend Oldeb, which is Bedloe backwards. In this image, there are 3 cups on one side of the creek and 5 cups on the other, symbolizing unfulfilled emotions and scattered energy. A creek flows in the direction that Bedloe walks, indicating that he's following a new path, so it is flowing that way. A full moon beams through the trees, signifying the end of a cycle. He walks toward the distant hills, never to look back. He keeps faith that the journey ahead will be fortuitous. You may feel unfulfilled or disappointed. A career might not be all you thought it would be. A relationship might not be working, no matter how much you love the person. The thought of severing ties with a job, relationship, or project has you feeling guilty. You've given it your all, you've invested time and energy, but you need to make a change, even if that means walking away. I like that they mention guilt there because, what is the thing that can hold us when, one of the things that can hold us when we really feel it's time to go, when we want to go. We're needing to go, but we're staying. Guilt is one of the things that can hold us. Fear is another. You need to make, you've given it your all, you've invested time and energy, you need to make a change, even if that means walking away. Search your soul, explore different ideas, projects, or relationships, live in a new city. However, avoid commitment to any person or path until you know what would make you happiest. Upright is disappointment, abandonment, betrayal, heartache, dissatisfaction, weariness, transition, moving on. Reverse says indecision, confusion, guilt, avoidance, one more chance, stagnation, fear of commitment. One more chance. Oh my God. Yeah. Giving somebody one more chance when it's time to walk away. Alrighty. So yes, we've given up a lot of energy. It is time to move on. And now let's look at this Knight of Wands. Okay. In the murders in the Rue Morgue, Auguste Dupin investigates the gruesome murders of 2 women. Their apartment's been torn apart, but the door is locked from the inside. Dupin finds hair that isn't human. He talks to neighbors who describe hearing a foreign-sounding voice. One of the murder victims is found outside the apartment, while the other is stuffed inside the chimney. Dupin concludes that the murderer had animal-like strength. As it turns out, a murderous orangutan had rampaged through the apartment. I just watched a production of this. I can't remember what it was I was watching. In this image, an orangutan wields a large candle symbolic of the suit of wands, an element of fire. As well, fire burns in the fireplace, representing passion and impulsive action. Upward you go. The Page of Wands inspired new ideas. Now the Knight of Wands goads you to action. You've finalized the details of your plan. You're ready to follow through. You've got enthusiasm, energy, and drive to move forward as you boldly launch your project. Make sure to pursue avenues of support. Take strategic risks. Okay, passionate, pioneering, enthusiastic, infectious, all these things represents a person, if it represents a person in your life. He or she will be ambitious and ready for adventure. High energy, passion, impulse, travel, adventure, relocation, enthusiasm, action, progress, inspiration. I love seeing the meanings that I traditionally, with my Hanson Roberts, would give to the Knight of Wands, which is travel, change of residence, moving forward, like that. So we've got this kind of, he's moving away from what is wasting his energy. Now this guy wants to move forward. He's not thinking about what's being left behind, but now he's focusing on what's ahead of me, right? So that's a major shift. Here's what I'm getting away from. Here's what I'm going to. It's always better, more powerful to be moving towards something than away from something. But sometimes we have to focus on the moving away in order to process that before we know what we're moving towards. Okay, then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. All right. I'm not going to read that part. You're likely the breadwinner as well as the primary caregiver for your family. Keep your home running smoothly. Perform your roles well. Logical, practical, resourceful. Might even run a business from home. So it's hardworking, independent, responsible, practical, efficient, secure, wealthy, nurturing. So again, we blend this is a wonderful trio here. I am done with this. It's only sucking me dry. Now I'm passionate about what lies ahead of me, and I'm going to work hard and nurture every step of the way, being very practical to get me to a new place. Four of Swords. Okay. After the challenges you faced with the Three of Swords, now's the time to rest and recover. You've experienced emotional extremes and difficulties. The road ahead might be fraught with more challenges. So when we're in between this place, the leave taking and the damn it, I'm better than this, I've got something else to accomplish on this earth, we need to really be aware of recovery. And I'm looking at the similar color background here. So these connect. One's cups, one's swords. We're walking away, but we also need to recover from this before we go racing off forward. And then we've got the Empress here. Morella is her story. She means abundance in all areas of life, full of grace, love, good energy, creativity, abundance, motherhood, beauty, fertility, growth, rebirth, romance, cycles. So again, I had said the similar energies here, just as far as fertility, as far as nurturing and the ability to take care of resources so that they grow, right? So we've got the nurturing here, and then igniting of passions. Here we really need to engage our creativity. So while you're resting and recovering from this, the intention of being very practical, we can rest and sort of start to dream. And dreaming creatively, what is it that we want to fertilize, catalyze? What is it that we want to bring into growth? Then let's go to the Ace of Wands. Okay. Bursting at the seams with passion, inspiration, and ideas, tons of creative energy, benefit from writing, dancing, singing, or art. It's inspiration, action, creativity, enthusiasm, opportunity, potential, intuition, passion, fertility, travel. So all of the positive meanings here: creativity, passion, practicality, fertility, and then we have intuition as well. Travel is reiterated, but it says to get to the new beginning, we've really got to give ourselves a rest and do some creative dreaming. I love the tiny little moons in the sky. It's so interesting. All right. I think that's a very clear reading. We can't get started. We don't want to jump the gun, get started too fast, because this is hot-headed. Because if we just rely on this, we could end up just, going from overspending our emotional energy to overspending our creative energy and burning ourselves out. So we've got to slow down and be practical. Rest, recover. Wherever you're at now, there's recovery in the journey. Recover, nurture, eat good food, spend some time in nature, and this is what relights your candle. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. What do you guys think? I'm so glad you decided to hang out with me. And, are you a Poe fan? Do you have this deck? Are you interested in getting it? Let's have a little conversation down below. Again, I am Luna. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't. I will see you again on the next unboxing live stream or other miscellaneous things. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.